You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to NBL Live broadcast number 207. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Bomber, the commish himself. We've got a great game on tap for you. It's the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Baltimore Ravens. But before we get there, we, of course, have our NBL Live pregame show brought to you each and every week by web3ks.com. We talk about them all the time. They do a ton of graphics for us. And if you or anyone you know needs graphics done, hit up web3ks.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You'll get a 15% discount on your whole order. Web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Bomber, an interesting game we have on hand tonight. Falcons and Ravens, two teams. I think in the grand scheme of things, you don't see a whole lot on NBL Live getting some new matchups here. And these are two, I think, of the underrated owners here in the NBL.
Yeah, excuse me. When you think about these two teams, the Baltimore Ravens, you think, man, they're just in a really tough division in the AFC North, so they probably don't get the love that they deserve, but they've been making those strides and continuously getting better each season. NBL season 31 might be the season. They're 1-1 right now. The Atlanta Falcons, we talk about them, but we probably don't give them the credit they deserve as well, as they're in a conference that they're not really respected as the top three teams. They're kind of on that next tier that everyone seems to overlook. So you got a lot of teams playing with chips on their shoulders tonight, and I expect this game to go down to the wire. The Falcons got off on the wrong foot to start NBL season 31, but now they're on the big stage. They're 1-1 right now. I'm always for the NFC. I love the home team, so I should be going with the Baltimore Ravens, but something tells me Atlanta Falcons tonight seems like the play, but I'm really excited to be here, OSU.
Now let's take a look at the players to watch for today's games between the Falcons and the Ravens. The bird battle here on NBL Live. For the Ravens, let's talk about Centennial Fairley. This is a guy in his fourth year with the Baltimore Ravens. Actually started his first two seasons were with the Arizona Cardinals, then the Baltimore Ravens for the last three. And this is a guy, last season, I guess would be considered his breakout season. 42 catches for 813 yards, averaged 19.4 per catch, and 7 touchdowns. And this year, Bomber, he has not, he's just picked up right where he left off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. A close battle that the Baltimore Ravens dropped by 3. He had 6 catches for 196 yards and a touchdown. 106 that yak yardage, 93 speed, 95 excel. This guy's a weapon, sort of come out of nowhere, been developed by owner Hound, and the Atlanta Falcons are going to have to key in on this guy and make sure they don't get beat by the big play.
Yeah, it was a little head-scratching when we saw him go towards the end of that second round in NBL Season 27. Didn't really do much with the Arizona Cardinals. Came to the Baltimore Ravens, started his career just 2 catches, 17 yards, no touchdowns. Then NBL Season 30, he jumps out the gate, 42 catches, 813 yards, 7 touchdowns. Let me tell you what this guy's got. 93 speed, 95 excel, 85 route running, 86 catching, 80 catch in traffic, 80 spec catch, and 80 jumping with an 81 release. He's got the speed, the athleticism, 5'10", $175. He kick return, punt return for South Dakota State. He's been doing it a little bit early in his Baltimore Ravens career, but he looks to solidify himself as an outside wide receiver this season, and I expect a big game from him, as you said, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 6 catches, 196 yards, and a touchdown. Man, this guy's pretty much a do-it-all receiver right now. They can even run him on end arounds. You'll see him on that wide receiver quick when they get inside the 5-yard line. A staple of the Steelers that the Ravens have kind of picked up, OSU. Really excited to see this guy go tonight. He's got the blazing speed that you love to see at wide receiver position in the NBL.
On the flip side, let's talk about Brody Denton, the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Third year in the NBL. This season so far, he's completing 68% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, though. Bomber, this is a guy who, in his first season, the disastrous season in Atlanta, he only had a quarterback rating of 72. 19 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. Last year was a fantastic year for him. Up that quarterback rating to 120.5 with 29 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Here's my question. Is last season what we should expect from Brody Denton, or is that just a flash in the pan? Because he started out this year against the New York Giants and the Los Angeles Rams. He's thrown 5 interceptions. They got blown out in week 1. And then in week 2, they were able to beat the Rams with 14 of 18, 2 touchdowns. That was a little better, but what Brody Denton should we be expecting today?
Yeah, so you look at Brody Denton and you think sophomore slump is usually what we say to most quarterbacks, right? Kind of in the reverse sophomore slump, in which the sophomore season seems to be the best year so far for Brody Denton. A third-round pick that came out with superstar development. Everyone was straight away from the weak arm. 88 throw power. They didn't like it. They didn't want nothing to do with it. But he had a pretty good season last year, 71% completion percentage, 120 QBR, but they played a very weak schedule. I believe they were 3rd in their division after the rookie season from Brody Denton, which was NBL season 29. Season 30, they played a weaker schedule. They had a lot of success, and he had 120 QBR, as I just mentioned, 29 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Now it's time to prove to the world and the NBL community that, hey, I'm the real deal here. I am a franchise quarterback, and we're going to have to see it tonight and see if Brody Denton, who had a 156 QBR versus the Rams last week, in week 1 only a 45 QBR and a blowout loss versus the Giants, can we get some kind of stability from the 6'3", 227-pound quarterback? We'll find out tonight. I think those are all questions that are valid. I just don't have an answer for you yet, OSU.
It should be an interesting game. The Atlanta Falcons coming off that win over the LA Rams, but a blowout loss in week 1. On the flip side, the Ravens maybe coming in with a little confidence. 33-30 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we already know how good those Steelers are. Bomber, we're about ready to send it out to the game. Who do you like in this one? Is it going to be Brody Denton and the Falcons pulling out the W today and maybe righting the ship a little bit, or is it going to be the Baltimore Ravens, a team that I think most people are waiting to take that next step and become that playoff team? They're going to get a big win at home today.
Well, I kind of gave it away earlier. I said the NFC. I said Atlanta Falcons. I'm sticking with it. I think the Falcons win 27-17 over the Baltimore Ravens. But I think the Ravens, man, this is a must-win for them. You can't lose too many games in the AFC North. They got to come away with this victory tonight. And the Falcons, I think they could lose this game and still win the division. I mean, the division is just not that competitive to where they must win right now. But for some reason, I'm going with the Falcons. Probably it's my NFC blood, OSU. I don't know. Something like that.
Well, NFC bias from an NFC
right, there you
owner.
go.
We'll see what happens tonight, folks. Should be a great game. We appreciate you tuning in to the NBL Live pregame show brought to you by Web3KS.com. But it is game time here in the NBL. Coming up next, an early season matchup between two teams with playoff aspirations. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Greg Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks. Who catches it, makes a man miss.
And we are live. What a great game we have on tap for you tonight, folks. It is a battle between two 1-1 teams here in the NBL. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. It's coming up right now. What a game. What a matchup. Week 3 broadcast number 207. I'm Oshu. I'm hanging out with my man, Bomber. Bomber, what a matchup we have today. Really excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. You're excited. The NBL community is excited. You don't really get to see Ravens, Falcons too much, and I think both of these teams are worthy enough to be our NBL Live broadcast number 207. That's probably why I suggested them. I mean, I'm not going to pat myself on the back just yet. This could be a blowout, but yeah, I was the one that said Baltimore, Atlanta. I think this could be a really good game. I'm taking all the credit here. See?
That's good. Hey, there we go.
What happened?
Technical
difficulties?
Yeah, I'm so done. Me and Comcast just having a good old day. Great day. Great day.
I thought we're done with Comcast. I thought we were moving
to
WoW.
Fun fact, I was moving to WoW. They forgot to click the confirm button on my appointment, so they never showed up. So they're going to come on Sunday. So, yeah.
Well, that's a great first impression for you right there.
It's a good start. Really, it's been a technological banner week for the NBL Network. And by the NBL Network, I mean me, because I am the NBL Network. You're welcome, folks.
Oh, whoa.
I am. No, I am. It's too late.
All right. Well, we'll let it slide. So WoW is pretty much the equivalent of a 1st and 10, run it up the middle, get 1 yard kind of thing. Not even a yard.
No, they're a run it up the middle and lose 2.
Oh, they lost 2. Okay,
yeah, they lost 2.
That's a really bad first impression.
2nd and 2 now for the Baltimore Ravens. And they've got 3 wide receivers out there, 2 over to the left side, 1 over to the right. And it's going to be hand off to Alvin Kamara over the right side. And Alvin Kamara in Baltimore, Bomber. This is a guy, they're really trying to get this run game going to take some pressure off the passing game.
Yeah, and you notice no Andrew Luck. That's number 8, Tyrod Taylor. I call him, who's the quarterback that always ends up getting a position as a backup at some time in the NFL? Equivalent to that guy, whoever it may be to you. And you're like, how does this guy keep getting signed? I mean, Tyrod Taylor, 85 throw power, low 80s accuracy, 79 deep, and he's got a very, very funny release. But he's a starting quarterback here tonight with an injured Andrew Luck. The Ravens going to rely on that arm of Tyrod Taylor as he finds another man over the middle, and they continue to move the chains early in this game.
Bomber, this Ravens team, they've had Andrew Luck at the helm for a while. Again, hurt right now and is going to be out for an extended period of time. But Luck really hasn't taken off in Baltimore. Andrew Luck is certainly talented. What is wrong? Why can't the Ravens get over this hump and find their way into the playoffs?
Yeah, you're trying to find personnel that's going to make it work. It's a little flick to the outside by Tyrod Taylor.
Little shovel pass.
Wow, that was nice. Now I might take it back. I've seen 2 nice throws by Tyrod Taylor. He steps up in the pocket, drills one over the middle, and a nice little shovel, little Matt Stafford-ish, real life. If you don't watch the Lions, you probably are saying, why am I saying that? You're just a Lions fan. No, but he actually does do that animation often in real life. So very cool to see from Tyrod Taylor early in this game, 0-0. Baltimore's driving right here on this first possession of the game. I think it's personnel. Andrew Luck can make all the throws. We've seen him make all the throws as Kamara fights his way up the middle, picks up a few. It's going to put them at a 2nd and 3. You look at this team, it's just personnel. They got to get used to the personnel. I think they brought in Andrew Luck, and they just didn't have the weapons. I think we spoke about it earlier. You got Fairley now. You got Oscar Atkins. You got some weapons now. Max Williams at tight end. There's some opportunities here for Luck, but what happens? He goes down with injury, so now they have to overcome that with Tyrod Taylor. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, that's Max with 2 X's, folks. It's Tyrod Taylor under center. He's got 2 wide receivers. He's going to drop back to pass on 2nd and 3. Looking, looks over to the left side. It is complete to Adkins. Up inside the 10-yard line to the 9, and another nice job there by Tyrod Taylor. This is a guy who is a mobile quarterback, but right there showing some restraint, staying in the pocket and delivering a nice throw.
Yeah, you see edge sting. You think the pressure's coming. The out route, Oscar Atkins, that took a while. I'm sitting there saying, okay, he's looking at the out route. Okay, Atkins, make your break. It didn't happen, but the offensive line held up well. Very nice play from the offensive line on that drive. 1st and goal here for the Baltimore Ravens.
It's a handoff to Alvin Kamara right up the middle. He'll lose a yard on this play, and the guy, of course, Bomber, who we're watching defensively for the Atlanta Falcons, it's Takk McKinley. Had another fantastic season last year, and now with a couple real nice seasons under his belt, he's established himself as one of the top defensive players in the NBL.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Takk McKinley, you think, man, that's a pressure getter. He gets to the quarterback, he makes sacks, he makes things happen. That's a guy you have to game plan against. I think the Ravens have done that. I expect him to be a little bit contained today. I like the offensive line of Baltimore.
And it's Tyrod Taylor looks over the middle of the field. It is complete to Max X Williams. Touchdown Ravens and Tyrod Taylor. Bomber didn't look like a backup on that drive. Made some great decisions, working his way down the field. A perfect drive, and it ends in 7 for the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, at least it's not X Williams, but a nice catch.
No, that's a different dude. Don't look him up.
Yeah, Max Williams makes a nice play over the middle, a little quick in, gets over the user coverage. Not great user coverage for the Atlanta Falcons right there. Cost them. And they're down 7-0. This is a team that does not play very well when they get behind, as we saw week 1 in a blowout loss. They lost 30-something to 3, I believe. So, I mean, that was very uncharacteristic of a high-octane offense that's built around, 3 speedy wide receivers. You got Ford, Bradford, and Burst. Watch out for these guys on the outside. They get underneath, and then they get going. They have a lot of speed at wide receiver.
And they're going to use one of those speedy wide receivers underneath. It is complete down to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the play as Brody Denton completes his first pass to Bradford. And how do you stop a team with this much speed? Is it getting physical at the line?
You want me to give you a little tip?
Yeah,
okay, so run man coverage, user against the slot guy. That's the guy he's going to hot route to the drag. You see it happen on the first play. Get and user man coverage with the slot guy. Now, if he wants to run drags with the wide receivers on the wide outs, left and right, let him. Your pass rush can get there before he has time, but the slot drag is just too easy to give up. You got to use her that position.
And what about a screen pass on second down? It is complete to yet another one of those speedy wide receivers. I believe that was Burst with the catch on that one up to the 44-yard line. Or, excuse me, that was Ford coming up with that one, 10 yards on the play. Bomber, I think the biggest key for the Baltimore Ravens defense is at some level you have to make Brody Denton try to beat you over the top. Yeah,
absolutely. They got small wide receivers. And Kelsey Ford, Ronnie Bradford, Deion Burst, they're all fast. But what you want to do is not allow him to make those little easy throws. Orbit bubble screen, drag screens, a slant, outs. I want to see some posts. I want to see some seams. I want to see over top of the linebacker coverage because I want him to have to make those throws. 88 throw power, that's your advantage. Swarm, swarm, swarm when the ball's in the air. Let's see if the Ravens can get it done.
And it's Denton throwing on 1st and 10 in the post route. Man coverage over there. Real nice play defensively.
88 throw power, OSU. That's where you can make up the ground that the receiver gains on the ground. If that makes sense to you and you're following here, you're understanding.
I'm with you.
88 throw power is where you're going to be able to close that gap.
Interesting enough, in that game, that blowout loss, the 33 loss in Week 1 to the Giants, Brody Denton threw 5 interceptions in that game. 2nd and 10, pistol formation, and we're going to see Rashard Blackburn get his first carry. Takes a big hit at the 46-yard line, give him 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Rashard Blackburn, the second-year player, this is his second stint in Atlanta. 14 carries, 75 yards on the year. Had a nice game in Week 2, 12 carries for 69 yards. Week 1, limited carries, only 2 attempts in that one. As Brody Denton in the shotgun, 3rd and 8. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd down, looking lots of time. Looks over the middle, and that one's directly to Mosley. It is picked off, and Mosley trying to get upfield. He will get down to the 47-yard line. C.J. Mosley reading the eyes of Brody Denton in the first mistake. And if you're a Falcons fan, Bomber, you're going, ruh-roh, Raggy. We've seen this before. This was Week 1 all over again.
Yeah, you look at this team right now. They're trying to run a post route. They think it's cover 2, but actually it's a cover 3. And it gets picked off as a nice trickery there by the Ravens defense.
Yeah, Fairley there taking the carry on the jet sweep. He'll get 2 yards and play good coverage on the outside. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Man, oh man. I mean, Brody Denton, this is unlike him, especially compared to last year. Quarterback rating of over 120. All of last season, really did a nice job of limiting turnovers, but early in the season, that's his 6th interception through 3 games on 2nd and 8. Big hit, down goes Taylor Vic Beasley coming around the edge. The blitz was not picked up. A perfect play call against one of those play-action rollouts, and now Baltimore, after a great interception, Bomber, is stuck in a 3rd and long.
Yeah, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, my game plan says I stay away from those routes that have that little neon green line because that's an auto rollout from your quarterback, and the edge pressure in Atlanta is just too good. Yeah. Get rid of those plays. You don't need them against the Atlanta Falcons. You want to stay in the pocket. You want to buy your time. You don't want to be rolling out into Vic Beasley or Tack McKinley.
Well, and how about Tack McKinley getting in there? Sack for the Atlanta Falcons and Baltimore after a great turnover forced by the defense. They're going to have to punt this one away, and that one, just a situation, Bomber, where they tried to go for it. They tried to get that 1st down conversion, but the pressure from Atlanta too good. The coverage downfield too good, and that might have been an opportunity where maybe you just run the ball and play a little field position.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen a draw there, and maybe even just a wide receiver screen. Set something up underneath that's simple, and you can get some positive yardage and maybe play a little field position as you stated. Now, let's look at Atlanta. Let's see if Baltimore continues to show these little mock coverages. They're going to show too high. Sometimes it's a cover 3. I think that's where you really can confuse Brody Denton.
And that's a quick throw to the outside. It's complete down to the 34-yard line. Give him a 1st down on the play. Bomber, as we hit the end of the 1st quarter, I mean, if you're Atlanta, are you concerned about what you've seen from Brody Denton early in the season, or is this just maybe a little bit of rust early in the year and he's going to put it together? Because last season, his numbers were fantastic.
Yeah, I think the schedule was a little bit weaker. Now they get to go against the AFC North. That's a tough division to play against. I think we're going to see this Brody Denton that's going to struggle a little bit throughout this schedule. I mean, they won the division last year. They're going to play the #1 teams in the NFC. We're going to see how good this quarterback really is. University of Colorado, can he get it done?
Big hit on Rashard Blackburn in the middle. He's going to lose 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Rashard Blackburn. Rashard Blackburn played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons before that. He's kind of a journeyman quarterback, 5th-round pick from Michigan State. I know you like Michigan State, but 93 speed, 90 excel, that's what they like about him. 5'10", 217, pretty big guy, but
The Daddy Leagues is wrong, by the way. The Daddy Leagues is completely incorrect on Black. If you'll notice, he's a second-year player, but he played in 2017.
Okay,
I don't know. Just get rid of that. Ignore that one.
Yeah.
But yes,
okay, the
Steelers
original
and Falcons.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so he was drafted 5th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got 56 carries, $132 for an injured Le'Veon Bell. He came in and played some spot coverage there. Looks like he's going to be the 3-down back here. They're going with him. They got Devontae Freeman. He's getting older. No more Tevin Coleman as he's in New Orleans showing out, and that guy's playing like a stud. One of the things I think Atlanta regrets throughout this cycle was probably getting rid of Tevin Coleman.
Deep pass over the middle of the post route is complete, and he's broken a tackle. He's got some room. The breakaway speed. Touchdown Falcons. Oh, it was a post route against cover 2 man, and when you miss tackles in the secondary, it turns into points for the Atlanta Falcons as they look to tie this game up pending this extra point. It is up. It is good. Fabio with the kick. 7-7 your score.
Yeah, nice post route right there, and you know the term, OSU, speed kills, as it definitely did right there, but just the engine. These wide receivers are great after the catch because they continually move their feet. They keep their feet chopping, keep them moving, makes it tough for safeties to bring them down. You got to stick to your fundamentals right now if you're a Ravens safety. You have to stay, smart. You have to keep your hands on them and keep driving them to the ground. You cannot let up on a tackle because these wide receivers are not looking to go down. Look at this right here. No high coverage here. This looks like an all-out blitz from the Falcons. Oh, now they're dropping some safeties back.
Ronnie Bradford with the long catch. 7-7 your score. As now it's the Baltimore Ravens' turn, trying to do something better than they did last time, as it's a handoff to Alvin Kamara. He's going to be taken down behind the line, and Kamara is down after taking that big hit. Bomber, you got to think... The Baltimore Ravens had a huge opportunity to gain some momentum with that interception, but 2 sacks by the Atlanta defense. It seems like Atlanta's playing with a little more pep in their step after that defensive stop.
Yeah, when you can score and score quickly, it seems like momentum changes drastically. Right now, the Ravens are 7-7, but it feels like Falcons have all the momentum because the Ravens got an interception on Denton and pretty much 3-and-out punted it and allowed the Falcons to come back and strike quick. Let's see if the Ravens can get some composure here with Tyrod Taylor.
Pass underneath to Widmer. It is complete up past the 30-yard line to the 31. Taylor 5 of 5, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Bomber, we've seen Taylor stay in the pocket today, but you can't forget about his legs. And if Baltimore needs to pick up a big first down, it wouldn't surprise me to see Tyrod Taylor pick it up with his feet.
Yeah, he can do it, and if the pocket's clean and there's an opportunity to move upfield with his feet, you're going to see Tyrod Taylor do it, but he's done a great job so far staying in the pocket and trusting his offensive line. I've seen him make some really great throws so far, really impressed so far by the 33-year-old, number 8 on the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, Tyrod Taylor.
And now 3rd and 4, it's Taylor driving back to pass, looks over to the right side, and I don't know who didn't... I don't know if that route was a confusing one. Denton threw that at the wrong time, or excuse me, Tyrod Taylor threw that at the wrong time. The receiver was nowhere there. He's lucky that didn't turn into an interception, as Baltimore's going to be forced to punt it away after such a nice first drive. Back-to-back punts for the Baltimore Ravens offense.
Yeah, that just seemed like a little bit early. Maybe a little happy feet right there. Sets his feet, drives the ball. It looks like it's going to be a face mask here on special teams.
Yep.
You know, those penalties kill you, OSU. After time and time again, you make great tackles in open space. You do all the right things, and then you just get sloppy with technique, and your hands get around the face mask. Those are things you can't have for special teams, especially for a team that's kind of losing the momentum in this game.
Yeah, giving up any penalty is bad, but especially those 15-yarders.
Watch a toss here.
As now it's a great field position. It's going to be Denton dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Looks underneath. Lots of traffic there, but Baltimore's not able to make a play. A real nice catch in the middle by Ford. 6 yards on the play. Going to bring him a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, a little panicky in the pocket there for Brody Denton. Actually, that red route on the drag was about to be wide open. He could have just waited for it, put a little touch on it, led him to the sideline a little bit. He could have turned upfield, and that might have been Deion Burst with the catch, but we could have saw Kelsey Ford take it to the house if he would have just waited and trusted his offensive line. Instead, he gets a little antsy and throws it a little early, but they still end up picking up 6.
2nd and 4 for the Atlanta Falcons. Brody Denton under center. Blackburn in the backfield. It's going to be a toss of Blackburn over the left side, and nice job there by Graham fighting through the tackle and fighting through the block and making a big tackle on Blackburn. They haven't been able to get this run game going, and Bomber, it's putting a lot of pressure on Brody Denton to be great.
Well, I sensed the toss coming. I called it the play before. I was wrong, but 2nd down it came. When you see those tight formations with the Atlanta Falcons, you have to think toss. They like to play the field against itself, so when they're on the right side of the field, they like the tight formation and toss back to the strong side of the field. Didn't work for them there. Nice job there by the Baltimore Ravens. They've done some great scouting. Let's see if they can get off the field here on 3rd and 4.
And now 3rd and 4, it's going to be Denton in the shotgun, dropping back to pass on 3rd down. A little stunt up the middle. He misses the sack, but Denton throws this one away. It was a nice stunt by the linebackers on that blitz, but a little bit of undiscipline there. And we saw a big face mask on the special teams and Bomber right there. A missed sack. It turned out okay, but eventually one of these undisciplined plays is going to burn the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, you can't leave your feet like that unless you're sure you're going to come down with the quarterback. Didn't happen there, but they're going to return this out of the end zone.
Why would you do that?
Special teams play has been questionable at best. For the Baltimore Ravens, you had a face mask on the last punt, and then they take it out the end zone looking for the big play. I get it, but it's 7-7, and you don't want to put yourself at the 8 when you could have been at the 20. Very head-scratching moment here if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Especially when you've struggled to move the ball on offense, save for the first drive. As it's a play-action pass rush is coming. Down goes Taylor, and he is in the end zone. That is a safety for the Atlanta Falcons. 9-7 your score, Bomber. The boneheaded move to take the punt out of the end zone ends up in 2 points for the Falcons. Now the Falcons get the ball, and the Ravens are in trouble here at home.
Yeah, they go up 7-0 now. It's a 9-0 run here for the Atlanta Falcons, and worst part about that score is they get the ball back, too, on the safety. So, 9-0 run with an opportunity to put some more points on the board.
And Atlanta gets the ball at the half.
Yeah, and that as well. So, it's all compiling right now. It's compound interest. It feels like a credit card debt you can't get out of. No, we don't have any sponsors for credit card relief, so. But that would have been a nice plug there.
Would have been great. Point. It was seamless. That was a seamless plug.
Yeah, I know. I went somewhere we weren't even supposed to be at, but it was a nice transition.
Quick screen to the outside. It is complete. The blocking is good. He's got a first down and more. Trying to stop and go, but he'll be taken down to the 47-yard line. Give him 13 on the play. Another first down for the Falcons. Boy, oh boy. Kelsey Ford with his second catch of the day. Bomber. This Falcons team, after that first drive, it was a question of whether Atlanta would be able to keep up with the Ravens, and now the Falcons seem in control as they come out with 3 wide receivers to the left side. Look for these crossers coming across the field. The Falcons love running a big crosser plays. They're going to hand it off to Blackburn up the middle, and he's got a big hole, and it's a first down for the Falcons, and they are gashing the defense now. Baltimore in trouble.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now for the Ravens. It looks like they're probably going to end up giving up points before the end of the half some way or another. I think one thing the Ravens should have had on their board offensively was limit play-action plays. I'd want to get those out of my playbook against a team with such a great pass rush. I don't want my first read, the amount of time it takes, being used on play-action, especially against great, prolific pass rushers in the NBL like Tack McKinley. You just can't do it.
Hand off to Blackburn, tries to cut it up the middle. He puts the ball on the ground, but it's picked up by one of his linemen. And returned up to the 35-yard line. That one could have been a disaster. It's a big shout-out to Cool Del Guy in the chat with the sub here on the NBL Network.
Oh, awesome, man. Great guy. He's won a lot of prizes from the NBL, too. I mean, he might be one of the luckiest. If we start keeping track of the prizes we've given out from our EA tournament to our big NBL Super Bowl that was on EA Twitch, I think 2 or 3 months ago, he's won himself quite a bit of prizes. I think he actually won a free Daddy Leagues, too, from Daddy Leagues through us. So, some great stuff here. From Cool Del Guy. Appreciate the sub.
Yeah, appreciate the love. Appreciate all of our subs and followers here on the NBL Network. We appreciate you tuning in to NBL Live Broadcast 207. Moshu, I'm hanging out with my man Bomber. Ravens and Falcons. Ravens started out 7-0. A beautiful first drive. It's been all Falcons since then. With the big play, the safety on the last drive. 2nd and 4. Denton dropping back. He's got a man over the middle of the field. It is complete as he runs backwards, runs forward. Using that speed and able to get the first down as Brody Denton threw a pick early, got sacked early, and
you can't really hold too long when you run that 3-buzz blitz, and when you don't get any pressure on it, I mean, something's got to change. He had 4 or 5 routes go out there, and still nobody got to the quarterback.
They're setting up a slip screen, almost
barely
batted away, but Blackburn now has some room. They went for the big bat, shakes off one tackler up to the 7. Rashard Blackburn showing up the strength, and it's another play where the Baltimore Ravens went for the big play. End up burning him for 20 yards.
Yeah, you could have just stayed home right there and made a play on the halfback, or even just tried to play it once it got into his hands, but they went for the pick or the swat down. I believe it was C.J. Mosley, one of the outside linebackers for the Baltimore Ravens, and man, it just did not pay dividends there. Watch the run up the middle here from the halfback.
And now minute 14 and counting in the first half. Denton and the shotgun man going in motion. They're going to hand it off on the inside zone, and a great shed in the middle of that defensive line to meet Rashard Blackburn and drop him for a loss. That was Belisari with the tackle. It's going to be a 2nd and goal as we're under a minute to go in the first half.
Yeah, watch what happens here. Ravens putting on aggressive pass rush. Let's see if it can pay dividends for him. I don't like it. I like guys at the 8. I don't want to give up the 5 yards and bring them to the 3. So let's see.
Now, at this point, I don't mind it being on, and he turns it off. I don't mind it being on at the 4 when an offside only gives him 2 yards. It's when you're on the 8, it's a 4-yard penalty. That's half the distance. As you get closer, I don't mind as much it now, but I guess you turn it off. So conventional wisdom aside now, 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Clock running. Now
watch the fullback dive coming up.
Blackburn at the top of the eye. 2 wide receivers from Brody Denton. They're going to hand it off to Blackburn up the middle, and another. I mean, it was a pretty obvious hole. And the linebacker went the wrong way, and it was Rashard Blackburn walking into the end zone. Atlanta now up 15-7 in Baltimore. Mental mistakes galore as the extra point is off the right upright and no good, so it'll stay a 1-score game. But Bomber, apart from that, the Baltimore Ravens have been making mental mistake after mental mistake, and the Atlanta Falcons are making them pay.
Yeah, I mean, really, it just seems like the only way that drive got going was because you took a safety. You know, you take those 2 points off the board. Let's say you 3 and out and punt it. They might walk away with only 3. All right, so 2 points off the board puts them to 13. You take away the 6, that they got, and you bring that to just a 3. This is a completely different game. This is a 10-7 game as opposed to 15-7.
Quick throw to the running back Kamara, and he just didn't look that one into the old bread basket. It's going to be an incomplete pass coming up with 2nd and 10. 30 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts, but the way Baltimore's offense has been going, I'd be afraid of turning the ball over if you push it too far.
Yeah, I would be concerned right now, too, at the 25. Maybe play it safe, just run the ball. If you're going to get aggressive, I want to see a ball in the air, and if it's picked, I want to say, well, it's just like a punt, and you don't have to worry too much about it. It's those short underneath ones that get jumped I really would be concerned about right now if I'm Baltimore.
2nd and 10, it is underneath to Widmer, and Widmer can't hold on to this one. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, and now, Bomber, you get to the question of now 3rd and 10, 26 seconds left. If you get stopped here, Atlanta's going to get the ball back, and they have all 3 of their timeouts.
Yeah, and you're going to be punting to them and probably giving them pretty good field position. I like the one-on-one fade on the left side of the field. It was a cover 1 robber. He had an opportunity to take a shot there. Tyrod instead goes underneath.
Uh-oh. Tyrod's going to take a sack here on 3rd and 10. Atlanta's going to take that timeout, and they're going to have an opportunity to put more points on the board. Bomber, what happened from that first drive? Did they get space jammed on the sidelines?
Yeah, and here's what happened there. The edge blitzer pretty much showed himself in the slot. You could see him staring at the quarterback. He wasn't even worried about the guy. Instead of shifting the line and making those proper adjustments and IDing him, the Ravens quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, says, you know what, that's the problem. He's always been able to use his legs and use his speed and ability to kind of elude pass rushers and blitzers. 33 years old. He's getting a little older, OSU. It's getting a little more difficult to do that, and those are things he needs to step up and tell his line, hey, looks like that guy's coming off the edge right now. Let's make the proper adjustments.
11 seconds to go. Atlanta has 2 timeouts remaining, looking to put more points on the board. They're on the 49-yard line. Play action pass blitz coming. I don't know why. As Humphrey with the sack there. Hey, Palmer, let's play another game of what was the decision there. On 1st and 10 with 11 seconds to go, why run a play action?
It really doesn't make sense. If you think the defense is going to bite on the run and not play the pass at that point, you're probably crazy. Maybe Atlanta just overthinking it at this point, but the Ravens said, you know what, that corner blitz is starting to get on my nerves. We're going to send it right back at y'all and see what y'all can do. A big hit on Brody Denton. Let's see if that wears on him as the game progresses.
WSU Cougs 11-27 saying, great half, boys. Avengers is about to start signing off. Have a good Friday night, y'all. Yeah, I saw it this morning. It was pretty good. I'm going to tell you everything that happens, as I really hate Mark saying no spoilers. I will spoil the entire movie throughout the second half. You're welcome.
All right, well, let's start trickling it down right now.
See our
so
viewership plummet.
Theater, got your popcorn, snacks.
It's weird going to a movie at 11:30 in the morning because I don't really feel like popcorn at that time. But then again, I'm a fat dude, so I got a large tattoo Blackburn.
Nice move.
Nice move. Nice recovery by Whitehead though to turn all the way around and bring him down for only a 2-yard game.
That move looked like it could have got him another 6, but great job by the defense of adjusting his hips, opening his body back up, and making the tackle.
Now 2nd and 8 for the Atlanta Falcons, folks. A great game we have on tap here, and we will have we've had some internet difficulties. We will have that NBL live schedule released later today. Tonight we'll have that posted on Twitter, so you guys can see our full slate of games here on the NBL network. Apologies for that one. Blame Comcast. It's now a 3rd and 7. And Bomber, this seems like a really important moment here for the Baltimore Ravens, just to get a stop on 3rd down and get your offense back on the field.
Yeah, here it goes. Third down. You get off the field, 3 and out. There's an opportunity here for the offense to get on the board, and we got ourselves a really close game. It's still just a 2-score game right now. Well, actually, it's a 1-score game if you go for the 2-point conversion. Yeah. They're right in this game. I know momentum feels crazy because it was 7-0 now. It's a 15-0 run for the Falcons, but you're right here. See if you can get to the
big sack on a play. And Bomber, we talked about Takaris McKinley, but Turner Copeland might be the best defensive end we haven't talked about as he continues to tear up offensive lines and gets a huge stop on third down.
Yeah, big stop right there, punting it off. Let's see if the special teams can kind of regain some momentum that they lost earlier in the first half. See if they can make a big play.
No.
But they don't.
No,
hey, TD Prime in the chat right now said he just had a big bowl of popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, he just said he had a bowl. I just assumed it was
it's probably a big bowl.
Eric G saying he did. Those two are brothers. Big shout out to Eric G and his brother Prime. Prime grinding in the grid right now, trying to work his way up to the NBL. Eric G going through finals right now. Says he's not going to be around as much this week. He's going to be going through some finals.
Good
and
luck.
You know, I think they said in the chat as Alvin Kamara tries to get a little bit more yards, gets down to the 25. Someone made a nice joke in the chat I wanted to bring up. They said, all right, Eric, 2Cs, good luck on your finals. So, you know, insinuating probably got a C grade incoming. Based on that, so I thought it was pretty good. Interesting little comeback there.
Hand off to Alvin Kamara, had one man to beat, but
wow, it was probably made out of paper mache. And here they go, 3rd and 9 for the Baltimore Ravens offense, a sputtering offense, a team that just seems like all they can do is 3 and out since the interception they had early in this game on Brody Denton. I'm concerned if I'm a Ravens fan right now. Come on, Tyrod, make a big play for us.
Shotgun formation for Tyrod Taylor. He's got 4 wide receivers. He drops back on 3rd and 9. Waiting. Rush coming. Tyrod Taylor gets blown up. It's Vic Beasley again. And, oh, what a nice drive. And here's what I'm noticing here, Bomber. The Baltimore Ravens on that first drive, they worked the underneath. It was get the ball out of Tyrod Taylor's hands quickly before that defensive line can get to you. Now they're trying to push it down the field. And the Atlanta defensive line is eating up the offensive line of the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah,
and a lot of the routes they're trying to push as a clothesline right there.
JBL out there, nice job.
I think who's the guy with the clothesline finish? Eric G, help me out. Oh,
JBL.
I know who it is. Don't.
JBL. I already said JBL. I was
gonna say don't spoil it.
I already said it well before you were asking for it. I already said it.
I didn't even finish the question yet, and I didn't even.
I said it before you even asked the question.
Oh my gosh.
Rip.
Yeah. That was one that maybe he'd be impressed at. A clothesline from hell, definitely something.
John Bradshaw Layfield has the Baltimore defense. Oh, he's attacking Mario and he's attacking Brody Denton. Bowser with the sack. A 9-yard loss on the play. Gonna bring up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, you got to love the name Bowser. One thing I wanted to say about the Ravens' offensive attack, you know, you said underneath. They've been working. Now they get themselves in a 3rd and 9. And instead of going underneath and vertical, they're going crossing route. Primarily, and I think that's hurting them. They're waiting, and against a defensive line that's as tough as the Atlanta Falcons defensive line, you just don't have that kind of time. Don't waste time trying to go cross route. Try to get vertically up the field and see if you can get an open spot against the zones. I think that's a place they need to exploit in the last quarter and a half of this game.
Another blitz coming. It's a quick pass to Blackburn. He's got some room around the outside. He will get up to the 43-yard line, and Brody Denton's done a real nice job of finding his running back out of the backfield for the 3rd time today, and he cuts it back to a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, nice throw right there. Very impressed by Brody Denton's ability to get rid of the ball early. It seems like he does a lot of thinking pre-snap, which could get you in trouble if you show some bluff coverages here if the Ravens pick up on this.
3rd and 2, I formation for Brody Denton. Blackburn at the top of the I.
Fullback dive?
You'd think something like that up the middle. As he's going to drop back to pass, quick 3-step drop, looks over the middle, it is complete. And once again, Baltimore just not prepared to deal with that quick pass. Cover 3 hard flat. I don't like the call there on 3rd down on 3rd and 2, but it's easy to call that when you have 20/20 hindsight.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're thinking halfback out the backfield maybe, but they really just need to get some better user coverage in the middle of the field to shut that stuff down. Handoff, there's the fullback dive we've been waiting on. Big hit, the Blackburn. Oh, that wasn't a fullback dive, was it? Okay, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be here at some point. I swear.
It's come.
When it comes, I'll let you call it because I know you're ready for it.
Well, I mean, I've already swung and a miss about 3 or 4 times now. I don't like my batting average by the time it does come up.
No bueno.
But I'm gladly going to take the W when I can.
Yeah, you're swinging for the fences though. These aren't looking for singles. You are looking for the bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
2nd and 10.
I am bomber.
I mean, bomber, B-O-M-B right there, hitting for the homers as another missed sack, but it's picked up by Tyus Bowser, and he's got some room on this
tackle. He's to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. The defense picking up the Ravens. Touchdown, Baltimore. Bomber was a bad miss sack, but it turned out to be even better as the Ravens get a touchdown.
Yeah, I had a feeling something was coming there, and actually the missed sack kind of propelled the interception. Number 54 jumps the route and houses it. A nice little juke move on the halfback. I guess why that's the halfback that usually is running and the other guy's usually tackling, because they look completely out of touch on that play in open field. But, man, that changes the game drastically right now. And now I'm really looking back and going, man, that safety, huh? That really hurt us here if I'm a Ravens fan.
And that safety is such a self-inflicted wound. There was no need to take the ball out of the end zone. They end up on the 8-yard line. One play later, they've got Tyrod Taylor on his backside in the end zone. 15-14 your score. Bomber, a pattern in this game, though, has been a lot of missed tackles so far.
Yeah, aggressive hitting for the Falcons and the Ravens in open field, and it kind of cost both of these teams shedding off those extra yards. You know, you're allowing teams to get 5 to 6 more yards, and even
Third quarter, I want to give a big shout out to our graphic sponsor, web3ks.com. We talked about them in the pregame. They do a ton of graphics for the entire NBL network. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done, hit up web3ks.com. Let them know NBL sent you. All business will give you 15% off your order. Web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphics design. 2nd and 1. Brody Denton drawing back. Quick pass over the middle. It's complete. He's got some room past the 50 up to the 45-yard line. First down for the Falcons as the pre-snap reads are very apparent from Brody Denton, Bomber. And you mentioned, if I'm Baltimore, I'm going to start doing some disguising coverage, showing blitzes, and doing some things to really get Denton off of his pre-snap reads.
Yeah, I think one of the things he really struggles with, post into that single high safety after the snap is made, of course. And I think that's an opportunity for an interception here for the Baltimore Ravens. Disguise your coverage, show blitz, press up, base align, do what you have to do. I think the Atlanta Falcons quarterback does a lot of reading pre-snap, and he's really sold into it. Very like Marcus Mariota when he played for the Tennessee Titans.
Now,
in the NBL.
For the Atlanta Falcons, it's Brody Denton in the shotgun, 5 wide receivers. They're setting up the quick screen to the outside. It is complete, but well covered by the Ravens. So that's probably the 3rd or 4th screen we've seen from the Falcons. The Ravens have done a really nice job today of making sure that they don't beat them with that screen pass and get any major yardage.
Yeah, nice throw right there for the quarterback to find the wide receiver screen, give the play an opportunity, but it really wasn't there. But if you didn't throw it there, you would have just been throwing it away. I like
Dangerous in these bunch formations on 2nd and 15. Rolling out is Denton, trying to get around the outside. He's going to try to run for it. 3 speedy wide receivers, and if you're in man coverage at all, you're going to be giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know many the cornerbacks, that can cover man defense against Ford, Bradford. I mean, Burst. These 3 are just dynamic. This trio is very fast, 96, 97 speed across the board, and can get it done. 3rd and 12, biggest play of the game right now for the Ravens defense. They're coming off a score on a pick 6. Let's see if they can stop the Atlanta Falcons right now.
Play action pass, throw over the middle, right over the user, and
oh baby, he dropped it. Wow.
Was that not a football move? They called it incomplete. No, he absolutely dropped it.
Wow, that might have been a fumble. I mean, that's something.
Was that not a football move? Was that not a football?
For the Falcons.
It looked like he took 2 steps and then went for the hurdle.
Maybe he never completely controlled the ball throughout the process. I don't know, but that's very questionable right there. But, man, talk about laying the lumber as he tries to leave his feet. Nowhere to go there for the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver. And here we go, another just minimal gain on special teams. They're on the 16-yard line. Last time they were in a situation like this, they got a safety. Let's see if the Ravens can kind of show some life here offensively and take this lead away from the Atlanta Falcons.
Detroit Lions, by the way, on the clock in the NFL draft. Waiting to see where they go. First and 10.
Is this 2nd round or 3rd? Or
Third
what?
round. Third round. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Play action pass for Tyrod. He's got B on the post, and he finds him and fairly makes the catch at the 41-yard line. On another unrelated note, the Cleveland Cavaliers are currently down 32.
Well, I knew that was going to go 7. I mean,
LeBron.
Don't worry. Game 7, they'll put them in. They'll put the Pacers in.
Kevin Love, 3 of 10 from the field. J.R. Smith, 3 of 9. I hate J.R. Smith. I'm so tired of J.R. Smith. Just go away. Go.
Hey man, he got you one. He made some pretty crazy shots.
He got one, and we're done. We're done because he is a horrible shooter. And Jeff Green is playing way too many minutes. Pass underneath the fairly complete. You saw that hit stick. He went for the big shoulder shrug, but missed it. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
And they're going back to that thing underneath, as you stated earlier. That's where they had a lot of success because the Atlanta Falcons are looking to lay the lumber. Desmond Trufant on that post earlier played it great, just doesn't have the speed athletically to stay with the post like he used to as the separation comes right at the break. But let's see if this wide receiver core, we talked fairly Oscar Atkins in the pregame. Let's see if they can come up and make a big catch for the Baltimore Ravens.
2nd and 6, it's going to be Alvin Kamara taking the carry, and the Falcons have really bottled up this run game. 8 carries for 9 yards for Alvin Kamara. Bomber, a guy who they thought they were going to bring in and really expand the running game, and right now Atlanta is dominating up front.
Yeah, they sure are. They're just forcing their will right now against this Baltimore Ravens offensive line. The fullback's not making the lead block. It just always seems like every time they hit the edge, there's one blocker in front of them to block 2 guys, and that's never, the right math that you need to have a successful running attack, and that's what's really struggled tonight. And Tyrod Taylor's being asked to do a lot right now.
And Taylor dropping back on 3rd and 8, looking to the left side, has the out route to Adkins. Nice throw there by Tyrod Taylor. It's another first down for the Baltimore Ravens. 4:33 to go. The offense, Bomber, it feels like they're actually getting a little groove going.
Yeah, I know. I kind of said some things about Tyrod Taylor. I'm kind of taken back right now. If he can make this comeback and make things happen, he made a lot of great throws so far.
Hand off to Kamara over the left side, and more of the same as these edge rushers able to contain the outside run from Alvin Kamara. It's going to be about 2nd and 11, 4:25 to go. And folks, reminder, stay with us till the end of the game. We'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game selection of the game all the way back to broadcast number 1. It's a great look back at NBL history as Kamara going for the screen. It was well read. Tyrod Taylor's got to take off. He hesitated.
Again, they're going to be in this 3rd down, 3rd and 8 plus. You're asking a lot from a backup quarterback to come in here and sling the ball around. We haven't seen many errant throws from Tyrod Taylor, but I got to figure one's coming up here.
3rd and 11, it's Taylor dropping back. It's Taylor taking the sack. It's Taylor got to step up in the pocket and not roll to where Takk McKinley is. 3rd sack of the day for Takk McKinley. And Baltimore's going to be forced to punt this one away. A drive that started so promisingly ends with, once again, Bomber, a couple sacks. And it's without a run game, as you said, you're really leaving it all up to Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, and the tight end was actually naked. Wide open if he had been on a seam, but he was running that quick out to the right side of the field. And I know Tyrod was thinking, oh, man, if you could stay with me just a little bit, turn your head, I'm going to hit you right here wide open. It didn't happen, so Tyrod Taylor, the professional 33-year-old quarterback that he's doing, the backup quarterback, he's playing a phenomenal game right now, managing the game very well and allowing this team to live to see another day. I like it, not forcing it right there and just taking the sack. 1st
and 10, handoff to Blackburn over the right side. Not a whole lot there. The Lions took Tracy Walker, safety out of what might be my favorite nickname, the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns.
Oh, absolutely. What's his 40 time? I need his 40. Is he faster than Glover Quinn? Is he somebody I can play? Is he better than Kilbrew? All the questions I have.
40-yard dash, 4.5, 140.
Oh, that's the halfback we took was a 4.54. So I don't know, or a 4.58, one of those. He didn't even go to the combine. Did the team, did the pro day thing at his university. So we get some favorable attributes for that in Madden.
As a quick pass over the middle, it is complete and a
cool
dive. Sweet drive as Matty Lowe 952 saying, "Clue, this guy is not aggressive. Cloning this other user isn't fake snapping." Yeah, they're not the Baltimore Ravens might want to try that fake hike against the Falcons because McKinley and that entire defensive line. The Baltimore Ravens offensive line, Bomber, is not talented enough to keep up with the Atlanta Falcons and how much talent they have in the trenches.
Yeah, and especially as much as they've been on the field right now, it just seems like the offensive line of the Ravens has worn down throughout the game. They started off fairly strong, and now it just seems like they're just worn out. And you got the speed of Vic Beasley. Takk McKinley just seems like it's wearing on this team athletically, and maybe fake hiking it. Maybe they are on aggressive right now. It's an opportunity for the Falcons, for the Ravens offense to get some yards.
Quick pass over the middle. Again, that pre-snap read from Brody Denton.
Good throw right there by Denton. He finds a little seam route quick. Let's see if they, we're hitting that 2-minute. Ravens only have 2 timeouts. It's a nice tackle right there. We're going to get down here. Another timeout here for the Baltimore Ravens going to be called. 2nd and 10. This is the ball game, fellas. They got to get off the field on this 3rd down upcoming if they can get a stop here on 2nd down. And then you put the ball in the hands of Tyrod Taylor, who's already played a pretty special game. We haven't seen too many bad throws.
It hurt on the play. He is staying down there. 2:01 to go. Clock stops there with the injury, but, man, Atlanta, a lot of side-to-side action, and Baltimore's not handled the speed well. You've seen about 4 or 5 screens. We've seen a lot of drag routes, and A lot of quick throws, and Baltimore's not really getting physical in the secondary.
Oh, absolutely not. And you got to watch out for that play action, little halfback screen. Watch, this might be a
Stretch
rush
is
on
going
the
the
left
other
side
way.
of stretch.
Yep.
You know, you got to start thinking right now, that play, we saw that play in the NFC Championship game. It was a 3rd and 5, and the Vikings needed a first down. They ran that little play action halfback screen. It just seems like it really is starting to work more and more. Something we got to start picking up on. You see the guy start moving, you got to get over there with them and try to make a play. 3rd and 5, that was way too easy of a pickup. 2nd and 10, excuse me, for the Atlanta Falcons. If you're Baltimore, you got to do better than that.
Jersey Boy NWK973, what's up? What's going on, Jersey Boy? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on the NBL Network, NBL Live Broadcast 207. Be sure to give us a follow over on Twitter at Bomber League. That's where we'll have our schedule posted shortly. 2nd and 10. Man count in motion. They're going to do the little wide receiver quick. And once again, nice shot by Baltimore.
And great point in the chat. You know, WSU Cougs is saying, I thought he was going to a movie. So he's still here, and he's saying,
aren't you watching Avengers? What are you doing, Cougs?
He's saying injury timeout saves them. Ravens won there. It did. That injury to the halfback actually stopped the clock right before the 2 minutes. So it gave him an extra timeout, which comes useful now. If they can get him off the field here on this 3rd and 10, or even just hold him to a field goal, that puts you down to about 1:14 left with 40-second runoff. Here's an opportunity here for the Baltimore Ravens, but once again, 3rd and 10, you got to get a stop.
And here's the interesting part. Atlanta, if they decide to throw it here and they don't complete it, they're probably outside of the game right here. Absolutely. A first down here ends it. And Atlanta gets a big win on the road. A stop, and Baltimore, they may get the ball back only down 1. They may get the ball back down 4, but they need their defense to come up with a huge play.
Yeah, they're saying, so 40-second runoff, if that injury timeout didn't occur, we'd be at 1:14 right now, and then they could run the ball here and take another 40 seconds off, leaving them with just about 30 seconds, 20 seconds left in the game and no timeouts. That might have done it. Let's see what Baltimore does here on this 3rd and 10. Let's see the defense if they can make a play.
3rd and 10. Skinny Roughneck just hit it random. Greetings, 4 a.m. out of Germany. Welcome. International in the chat. Appreciate it. Throw them in.
Oh, that should have been a pick. Oh, that was a pick, and he was still running, and he didn't look it into the mitts. What a miss.
I'm saying right now, if they would have made that play, that would have been a 2nd pick 6 of the game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
House. Wow. Wow, what a game.
This punt is away, and looks like it's going to be at the 10-yard line. It's taken. Trying to get around the outside. Shakes off a 1 tackle. He's up past the 15 to the 20. Makes the man miss down to the 22-yard line. No timeouts left for Baltimore, but Bomber, they only need a field goal. But if they don't get it here, boy, talk about a play they're going to be looking back on and go, dude, look, I know you're not a receiver. Look it into the breadbasket, because that was a pick 6 and what could have been blouses for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, 15-14 right now. A game that the Baltimore Ravens, 50% of their points have came from the defense. They were about to say, hey, put that number to 66.666%, because we're about to have 2/3 of our points right now. But it didn't happen. They're relying on Tyrod Taylor, the backup quarterback. Andrew Luck is out for the Ravens. Let's see what they can do here.
And he drops back to pass. Blitz picked up.
And there it comes. I was waiting on that one.
That was bad.
That was really bad. That was
but
really
it
bad.
But it didn't hurt them. They still have the ball. They only used a little bit of time. It's going to bring a 2nd and 10. As WSU Cook saying, damn, I just woke up the theater yelling, pick that. Focus on the good to see that even with the Avengers playing, you're focusing on NBL Live. That is correct. As Skinny Roughneck, just a big long, yeah, that was not a great throw from Tyrod Taylor. Now 2nd and 10, double A get pressure shown from the Atlanta Falcons as Fairley comes in motion on 2nd down, and they're going to drop back into coverage, 4-man rush. Tyrod Taylor looks underneath it. It's complete to Fairley, trying to get out of bounds. Did he get there? Yes, they did. They'll get a couple, 5 yards on the play, Bomber. I would have liked there. A lot of pressure from the edge. Would have liked to see Tyrod Taylor step up and possibly take off with it instead of taking the 5 yards underneath.
And actually, Y on the little lazy post was about to get wide open because they had enough time. But instead, he already went off that read and went underneath. Hey, 3rd and 5. Here's an opportunity. Got to keep the drive alive.
And here comes Tyrod Taylor, drop back. Blitz coming from the outside, edge pressure. He looks underneath to Fairley, who's in a little sit route. He's not going to get the first down, though. He'll be a yard short. Taylor, that was another opportunity. If he takes off, he has a first down there. Instead, now he's got to convert a 4th and 1. And if you want to talk about a play that is game, this is it. 4th and 1. Taylor in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass on 4th down. Looking underneath. It is complete to Whitmer in front of the defense. And he's going to get a little bit of extra to the 41-yard line. 10 yards on the play. What a job by Whitner. Making sure he caught that and is able to secure a first down for the Baltimore Ravens. And now A new set of downs. We're under a minute to go. It's Taylor dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Has a man wide open. It's the running back. Holt goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And they're maybe 20 yards out from a game-winning field goal attempt. Bomber, what a 4th down conversion from the Ravens.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I saw the seam. Max Williams was wide open. I thought he was stepping up to give him that goodness, and he didn't do it. He threw it to kind of a covered guy who just eludes the defense after the catch. And, wow, I thought that was going to be one of those animations where you throw it, he catches it, he gets his arm ripped, and the ball drops out, and that's the game. But, hey,
seen that too many times.
Trying to make some magic. Let's see if he can do it. 55 seconds left.
One high safety for the Atlanta Falcons as they are switching up the cornerbacks. 55 seconds to go, and here comes Hanspart in motion. They set up a screen to the outside. They are, and Hanspart catches it, and he's got some room up to the 50, the 45, to the 40-yard line, 41. Clock running. This would be a 58-yard field goal attempt.
Don't take a sack. No sacks here, please.
You got to think if you're Baltimore, don't turn it over. Don't just make sure you keep the ball in your own team's hands. 36 seconds and counting. Tyrod Taylor dropping back. Blitz coming. It's picked up. He has a man. It's Fairley with the catch at 30 seconds and counting. And Baltimore is primed. Now, we have seen plenty of blocks here on the NBL network, but you got to think Baltimore milks this all the way down. No need to do anything. But just set up the field goal attempt, and Baltimore, Bomber, after Baltimore looked to have disappeared in the middle of this game, they're going to have a kick to win this one at the end of the game, and Tyrod Taylor.
What if the spike right there didn't register, and that was like a real play?
I
don't like that. I don't like what he did there. I would have just, went up there and spiked the ball, and then I would have kneed it, and then came out in field goal with like 20 seconds left and kicked the field goal as the time was expiring. Well, you know what I'm saying? What if it was a real
not
play
iced
right
whatsoever?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker, a chance to win it. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is true blue. The Baltimore Ravens with a last-second field goal. What a play. What a game for the Ravens. They come away with a huge win. 17-15 here at home. The home crowd has gone wild, Bomber. What a job by Tyrod Taylor leading that drive at the end of the day.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. I mean, you had a pick six on the defensive side of the ball, but Tyrod Taylor, we saw one bad throw for him, and it didn't hurt his team. As you said, our pregame player to watch, Fairley, had 5 receptions for 59 yards. I mean, I like what Tyrod Taylor did. I mean, a 120 PR, 14-18, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 77% completion percentage for the 6'1", 215-pound, 33-year-old backup quarterback. I'm impressed. He's my player of the game, OSU. Yeah. He's got to be.
Absolutely.
You didn't expect this much from him. He went out there. He did more than just game manage. He made all the right throws. And at the end, that little bend route, I call it a little Pac-Man route because it kind of looks like Pac-Man's mouth. Just a little bit. It was a little lazy one. It wasn't as sharp as the other ones might be. And he beat the man coverage, got into the possession catch, spiked the ball with 3 seconds left. Phenomenal work for the Baltimore Ravens. Big win. They improved to 2-1. It was a must-win for them. Falcons are going to be all right, though, as they fall to 1-2.
They do. Tyrod Taylor, your player of the game for Broadcast 207. You can check them all out at 365.maddenbombleague.com. You can also apply to join the NBL, and you can also, as he tries to stand up, get one of these cool shirts, one of the gold standard shirts. You can order one of those 365.
Is it real gold, though? I mean, is it 24 karat or?
You'll have to order that to find out.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave the surprise to the folks there. Yeah, as
1 in every 100 is 24 karat.
You never know. You never know. You could get the golden one. As Bomber, what a game here on NBL Live. What a finish for the Ravens. And NBL season is underway. Season 31.
We had some technical difficulties, OSU, for a couple days. We figured it out. We came back.
Yeah.
And this was a phenomenal comeback game. Really enjoyed doing this call with you. I think this was a nice game. It painted a good picture. Kind of reminded me, I know for those that don't really watch wrestling, you're going to be like, oh, wrestling talk again. But one of those matches that kind of gets going, a mid-card match, and then at the end you walk away saying, man, I feel like I got main event entertainment, and I think that's what we got today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And a really great show. And we hope you guys hit that follow button so you know every time we go live. We'll have that NBL Live schedule up on our Twitter tonight. And we hope you enjoyed the show. For my co-host Bomber, I'm OSU. Once again, your final score, the Baltimore Ravens on a last-second field goal. They defeat the Atlanta Falcons 17-15. We'll see you next time right here on NBL Live.